what women see. Pay attention. Information is a neutral. Never was a shade's possibility. Welcome to Yellow Canary, mind me. We are going into the mind step. The Yellow Canary is gonna sing. If the air is toxic, I'm singing. Welcome to Yellow Canary, mind me. We are going into the mind step. The Yellow Canary is gonna sing. If the air is toxic, I'm singing. Gertrude on the screen, signal clear. Hi Gertrude. First warning sings before the fear. Early. Track the language, track the impact. Track it. Show exactly what it does and who it moves. Mapped out. Welcome to Yellow Canary, mind. Welcome. We are going into the mind of the way. The Yellow Canary is gonna sing loudly. If the air is toxic, I'm singing. Always. Welcome to Yellow Canary, mind. Welcome. We are going into the mind of the way. The Yellow Canary is gonna sing loudly. If the air is toxic, I'm singing. Always. Welcome. Welcome to Yellow Canary, mind. We are going into the mind. Welcome. All the way, the Yellow Canary is gonna sing loud. If the air is toxic, I'm singing. Always. Yellow Canary, we expand minds, expand. We document systems that we think on record.
All right. Let's get this party started. All right. Let's get the party started. So we are, in fact, streaming to YouTube right now. I need to open up my YouTube so that I can see if I have comments over there for me to read as well. Today's topics are ED medication should be illegal. And it looks like my D is cut off. That's weird looking. There's definitely a D there. I don't know why it's cut off. What's going on there? Maybe I need to change the font. Let's change the font and see if that fixes it, because I don't know why the D in should is cut off. All right. Oh, we've got somebody coming up already. Welcome up to Let the Men Talk. How can I... What's up?
I'm good, thank you.
Are you in fact a man?
No, I'm a woman.
Okay. I mean, I don't have a man up right now. It typically I do ops that are men. But if you want to answer the prompt quickly whilst I don't have anybody, you could go right on ahead.
Oh, I didn't see. It says let the men talk. I did not see that. I mean, whatever. ED medications should be illegal. So like GLP-1 should be illegal.
It's I'm talking about erectile dysfunction.
Oh, I wouldn't know too much about that.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go, dear. All right, welcome up, sir. I thought the Let the Men Talk thing was pretty bright. I did all that AI could do to make it kind of pretty obvious, but I don't know. All right, welcome up, Marcus.
Yeah, hi.
How are you?
Great.
All right, so which one of the prompts would you like to address first? And for the people in the audience, make sure you're tapping the screen, sharing the live. Let's get this party started.
Oh, okay, wait a second. So on that first prompt, when I joined, the ED was like cut off on the left side of the screen. I thought you were just up here saying that like medication should be illegal.
No.
And I was
talking about erectile dysfunction. Erectile dysfunction medication should be illegal.
All right. Why?
Because I'm
not even sure. I'm not even sure I disagree. I just want to know why.
Because I feel like if God has decided you shouldn't fuck anymore, you should not fuck anymore. We shouldn't intervene with that.
You know what? Fair enough.
Right? I think that it's very strange, right? Like, why should men have the choice to resume fucking when God has interrupted and said, that's about enough for you? But yet we're telling women that they can't interrupt pregnancies. So, like, if we are going to tell women that they don't have options, I think we should also be telling men that they don't have options. Like, why? Listen, God put that baby in there and you can't get rid of it. And God said no more dick work for you. There should be no more dick work for you.
I don't know. I'm not really a Christian, so in my worldview, I don't think that really we need to be like, or really that we should be like passing legislature based on like religion. Because I don't know. That seems like it's problematic because then you run into like, you run, yeah. I think
Is
people,
that fixing the thing? Somebody says you can't see the ED still. Can you see it now or no? Just that's really to the comments. Sorry. Okay, y'all can see it now. Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, sorry about that. So I'm not a Christian either, but unfortunately, living here in the United States as a non-Christian, I am like subjugated to the bullshit that the Christians have decided for the rest of us.
yeah, yeah,
I like give us back abortion, and I won't be talking about your damn ED pills. I you if you don't believe in abortion, what you can do that's very meaningful is not have abortions. If you don't believe people should be gay, well, you know what you could do that's meaningful? Not sleep with people of the same sex. Right? Like you can do whatever you want to do with your life without telling other people what they should be doing with theirs.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think we probably just agree on everything. So I'm gonna hop down and let someone else come up if that's all right.
Sure, no problem. All right, so I don't have another man in the queue right now. He wants to hop down. So if there's a lady that wants to come up and chitter chatter with me for a little bit, you're free to do so. Hold on one second. Let me get this dog out the damn window. Out, down. Okay, cool. All right, so, and in the interim, I will also talk about this. So, if you're just now coming in, the ED stands for erectile dysfunction medication. I think erectile dysfunction medication is absolutely harmful to society. I think if nature has said no more fucking for you, why are we intervening to have these men continue to fuck beyond what their body was ready to do? It seems pretty evident that if you're having erectile dysfunction, particularly in your old age, it's because nature doesn't want you to procreate anymore. Nature doesn't want you to have more children. Nature doesn't want you having sex. And if you're in a relationship, perhaps nature wants you to focus this part of your relationship on the emotional aspect and the kindness aspect and the aspect of getting to know each other and loving on each other in ways that have nothing to do with sex. Maybe that's what nature is telling you, or the God is telling you, or whoever it is that you believe controls these things, right? So why is it that we're making medications that are prolonging men's ability to get hard-ons when nature has already said no more hard-on for you? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. They literally need to remove all of these medications from the from the market and stop letting men who shouldn't be fucking get hard-ons anymore. You don't deserve erections anymore. You've had all the erections that you've had all the erections that nature has decided you should have. Why are we what is the word? Why are we using fake means to get your dick hard? Right? My second prompt that I have up there is Christian men are grifters, right? Christian men are absolutely grifters because at the end of the day, they do not believe in the Bible themselves, right? Now, I may change that to the one that me and Lilith like to share, which is that the Bible is literal for women and metaphorical for men. I might just change it over to that one. Both Lilith and I run that prompt quite some time. When I came with that prompt first, I gave it to her because I thought she'd have a lot of fun with it over on her live, and she has. She has had a lot of fun with it. So I might just pop that over to that one too. But y'all make sure that you are sharing the live, tapping the screen, doing all the things. And like I said, if there's any ladies that want to come up and chitter chatter about either of the topics in the meantime, you absolutely can. I don't know, like if y'all for the, let me see here. Let me invite Jen up if Jen is free to come up. Let me invite Halo up if she's able to come up. But yeah, that's where we're kind of okay. Sen says she's in the store. Sen, I knew that you had like some things going on. You might not have been able to talk. Hey, Halo, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, what's going on, my love?
Nothing much. I finally figured out the streaming on YouTube thing. We are streaming on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay, let's get it. Okay, when the two fingers is touching, you know it's he.
It took forever.
Yes.
Girl, I was telling somebody, Rochelle was like, oh, it just took 3 days to get it together. I was like, girl, you just don't even know how long ago this journey started. Like, you have no idea.
Man, we
It,
were working on that beginning of the year. Actually, we were working on that last winter. And yeah, you finally got it going. Good job, Yellow. You know what I'm
finally.
saying? Now we can bring more people in, you know what I'm saying? Get this party started. But if you will, ED medication should be illegal. I agree. Oh my God. Cause why should they give a extra leg up to the men who are having problems with their wee wee staying up when we can't even have rights to our bodies just in case of a medical emergency, let alone anything else? Like it's very strange how they assume control over our bodies as women, but they can't even take their wee wees being out of commission due to their lack of what is it, lack of
Testosterone. Eh,
testosterone,
I mean, it's a bunch
them
of things that causes ED.
exactly, their diet being poor, ed, medications, ed, you know what I'm saying, all kinds of things can be attributed to why they suffer through it, right? But the moment they have to go through, it's like that their lives are over. Isn't that strange?
Yeah,
It's like they're no longer a man no more. You might as well render them a eunuch at that point.
facts. Yep, I agree.
And Christian men are grifters. Oh man, don't get me started. Please don't get me started.
Get down.
Cause you're gonna have the religious people up in here trying to jump me.
Well, come on. I'll protect you. We'll fight together.
Okay. Well, no, I for sure believe that Christian men are grifters because they're grifting women into submission and they're grifting everybody else out of their money. Like it's a Ponzi scheme if you ever seen one in real time. They're absolutely hitting two birds with one stone by using religion as their hook. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that don't have direction, they are susceptible to these things, to the manipulation. And especially for women who are more of the conservative type, they're going to fall for the woo-wop when it comes to religion because they really believe that that book was written with some sort of, I really don't know what to call it, but they
Magic?
believe that that book
Like
had right
magic.
magic, like genie in the lamp. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all truth, all facts, and nothing can be like misconstrued. Nothing can be altered. Nothing, and it's strange behavior.
Get down. Me and this daggone dog today, we gonna have problems. Because he's
Look,
stay
Jeff
going in and
said
out of
it.
there.
Some are deviants and be using that book for their deviancy.
But
That
here's the
that goes
thing, they
along
don't
with it.
even read the damn book. That's the
Yeah, a lot
that's
of
the
them
thing.
don't.
Like you believe that the book is godly and magic, but you also simultaneously won't fucking read it. Read the fucking book then. Because if you would read the book, you would find out that there's a bunch of shit that it tells you that you're supposed to do, but you missed all of that shit. You ran straight to whatever it is. Oh my gosh, you know what? First of all, we have a celebrating moment. Hold on one second. Shout out
Oh, we
to
got a
Austin
super
Thunder for
fan.
becoming a super
W's in the chat for
fan.
the super
W in
fan.
the chat.
Yes.
Thank you. W's in the chat for Austin for joining the super fan clan. We appreciate that. If you are interested in joining the Oh, thank you. If you're interested in joining the Discord, just hit me up on a DM and let me know. Just put in the message. I'm a new subscriber and I'd like to join the Discord. Of course, you're always welcome to or not welcome to. Please check out your stickers. That you've just opened up a whole bunch of more stickers that you can use to communicate with your friends and family in the room. Thank you so much for subscribing. So W Austin, yay Austin. Yes. All right. But
No,
sorry to
but
interrupt, but
what you said was real. You know what I'm saying? Because most of them don't read the Bible, but we do have to remember the deacons, the pastors, the men that's part of the congregation. They'll read the Bible strictly to be able to manipulate the people around them with the Bible, and they'll use scriptures that they know best benefits them and their agenda. They won't highlight anything else, though.
okay, Savvy, I see you in the comments, says, Yellow, you need to teach me how to make stickers. I got you, boo. Let me hit me up when you get off from work and we could do it tonight. Like, that's easy business. We can literally do it tonight together. And get you some stickers. That's easy business. And actually, if you want, we could chat GBT, make you some too, some real cool stuff. But yeah, they're absolutely grifting, right? They're absolutely, particularly the deacons and the pastors, like you're talking about. I don't know if these people use if they read the whole Bible or not. But what I do realize is that they pick and choose whatever segments and verses out of the Bible that they can use to subjugate women. The other really sad part is that we have made it that women think that a godly man is a prize, right? So they'll be like, I want a man who, wait, who just became a super fan? Let me see.
Skip me, avoid me, W's in the chat for
Yeah,
cousin.
W's
Skip
in
me.
the chat. Yes, hold on.
Thank you for the subscription, cousin. We appreciate you. The Yellow
Yes.
Canary crew appreciate you.
Yes. I don't know why it didn't flash me. Like, what happens, it normally gives me like a little flash that somebody subscribed. So same thing to you, Skip me. Shoot me a DM. Say I just subscribed. I'd like to join the Discord if you want to join the Discord. Of course you're welcome to come on over. If you don't want to, that's cool too. You just got opened up to a bunch of new other stickers. So go in there and check out what your stickers are. So that's amazing. I'm so glad we got 2 new subscribers today. Subscriber gang on that thing. Okay. But like I was saying,
You were talking about especially the deacons and the pastors, how they utilize scriptures, but you don't think that they really read the Bible through and through.
yes. Oh, Skippy says she has bullied me long enough without super fanning. Listen, it's been a long road. It's been a long time you calling me pick me yellow and all this other kind of stuff, but I have loved it the whole way through. And one thing about your particular personality that comes through online, Skip me, is that I always know that it's all in fun and it's all in jest, and I've thoroughly enjoyed having you here. Like as part of my comment cousin section. Like when you're not here, I'll be like, dang, where's Skip me at? Oh, look, we got a man's in the queue. Halo, you want to hang or you want to drop? It's up to you. Either is fine.
I'll hang and I'll do it quietly.
Okay. All right. And before we start with the end dude, please make sure that you're continuing to tap the screen. We're at 13,000. Let's try and get up to 25,000 as soon as possible. We've been online for 20 minutes. So let's see in the next 20 minutes if we could get us up to 25, 30-ish thousand taps. Hello to everybody that's over on YouTube. To the moderators that I made moderators onto YouTube. No need to run over there at this time right now. Chat is kind of slow, so you're good. I'm watching that on my secondary device. End alienation now. The floor is yours. What are your thoughts? Which one do you want to start with?
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, my thought is that the
Which one are you starting with?
I was just about to say so. I was just about.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So my thought is the title that suggests that Christian men are grifters. I disagree with. I think that it's absent-minded to suggest as such, particularly if you happen to be, not for all, but those who may happen to be a feminist. and might hold this position to say that Christian men are grifters. I think that's an absent-minded position to hold, because it is the case that many of the laws which it is that you all will use in your fight against oppression, your fight for equality and justice, those laws were established, built, upheld, and defended by and large by men who happen to have that exact same faith and belief in Christianity. And so if it is the case today now that you would undermine those men and dismiss them who hold the same principles and beliefs, well, again, that'd be absent-minded. If it was not for those men, you wouldn't have an apparatus to do all the good work you all do as feminists.
If it were not for men, our voices wouldn't have been held back to begin with. So literally what you did is you created a situation, a circumstance, a culture where women are subjugated, and then you say, look at the good men that have slowed down some of the subjugation. But y'all fucking started it. If it wasn't for men, women wouldn't be subjugated to begin with. We wouldn't be underneath the, look at the bits of freedom that we gave you back. You're the one that took the freedom to fucking start with. That is literally like, let's say I wanted to give my dog a steak, right? Let's say my dog had a steak. Let's say Halo came over to my house and gave my dog a steak. My dog has every right to the steak because Halo gave it to the dog, right? And Halo has already been established as someone who can feed my dog with no problem. She gives the dog a steak. I take the steak from the dog and give it little shavings of it and hand it back, and I want to be worshipped. The dog should have had the whole fucking steak to begin with. So you want me to praise the men that gave us the shavings of meat back?
Let me know when I can respond.
Right now.
Yeah, so I'm not asking for praise. I'm suggesting, again, that there's an apparatus that many individuals use when they come up against injustice. The apparatus they use is the justice system, the laws that we've created in our country. And those laws are afforded to all peoples. And folks have the opportunity through the justice system and those laws to leverage them in their favor. We see that women do so all the time, those who are feminists, and find themselves coming up against injustice or inequality. Yes, and it is the case that men, majority, largely Christian men, created that apparatus just for this particular scenarios which it is that you all face. And if those Christian men did not have that foundation in morality, that foundation in justice that they sought from the scriptures, if they didn't have that, they wouldn't have designed the system that you benefit from.
All right, let me do a little bit of commercialing. We're going to try something new on Let the Men Talk, okay? I am changing the cost of the cost of everything is going up. So the cost of dropping people is going up to the lightning hammer, which I think is actually very funny to see the lightning hammer come across the fucking screen and then we drop the person. I'm tickled by that. If we've got multiple guests up here and you want to mute any of them, it's the little raccoon to do so. And now I am also inviting the women. If you want to have a 5-minute one-on-one with a person, it is the gloves. So if you guys see me up here talking to somebody and you feel like you need a 5-minute one-on-one with this person, it is the gloves. You throw the little gloves and jump into the queue, and I will bring you up for 5 minutes for you to have a one-on-one with anybody that is on the panel. Okay? So again, the cost of the drop is going up to the hammer, right? If you want to mute somebody, if I have multiple guests, do not mute people if I only have one guest, because now we're sitting in silence, right? But if I have multiple guests and you want to mute one of them for 5 minutes, it's the little raccoon. And if you want to come up and do a one-on-one with one of the men for 5 minutes, it is the punching gloves. All right.
Yellow is really up in the ante, y'all. Okay.
I'm up in the ante. I'm up in the ante. I will mute myself and let y'all talk it out with whoever it is that you need to talk it out with for 5 minutes. All right. It's not, listen, they have to be, she said, yes, I love that. Cause I know some of y'all been punching in the air the whole time. Like, I'm not hitting nothing. Right. So I'll let you guys come up, for 5 minutes to have your talkabouts with them. And then I'm going to drop you back cause it is Let the Men Talk. I'm going to continue these rules even when we have full panel. All right. Sir, we can go round and round and round about whether or not y'all released some of the problems that you caused, right? However, nobody gives a fuck. Christian men are grifters because they are tricking women, right? They are tricking women into submission by use of the Bible. It is not natural for a woman to want to submit to a man. It's not natural. You have utilized religion to cause women to behave that way and make them think that it's the right thing. And then in turn, women pass that bullshit down to other women, right? It's a grift. It's a free labor grift. Sorry. It's a grift for labor. It's a grift for vagina. It's a grift all the way around. Particularly when we're talking about women, but then when you get into like Halo was saying, the deacons and pastors, it's a grift up against people's money. Get down.
Can I respond?
Please do.
Yeah. So, again, the claim is false, and here's why. To suggest that submission is unnatural.
How many years as a woman have you been? How many years have you been a woman?
God, thankfully, I've never been a woman.
So you can't tell a woman who's been a woman her whole life what is natural to womanhood. You're not a woman.
Right. So I just wanted to speak to.
So go on and tell me what's natural. Listen, you want to tell me about what it's natural to be a woman, but you've never been a woman.
Incorrect. I want to say what's natural as it pertains to the claim about submission. You said submission is not natural, and you're using it in the context of male-female relationships. And I'm going to prove to you.
I said a woman submitting to a man is not natural.
Right. And I'm trying to demonstrate why it is, if you would allow me to finish.
Go ahead. Tell me.
Got it. Yeah. So here's how I'm going to use a present demonstration that's transpiring right now in this conversation that we're having right now. It is natural to submit to power. And in the context or between men and women, it's very clear to understand that men are more powerful than women. We understand it's natural to submit to power.
No,
even
that's how you feel. That's how men feel. Men submit to power.
No,
not women.
Can I demonstrate my point, please?
Go ahead.
We see it transpiring, everyone who's listening, right now in this room. Even your gracious host just said, if you possess the power financially to pay me, you can make the other individuals who are speaking submit to your desire and remain on mute or be dropped from the conversation. You are in a position of power. And therefore, if I don't have the means to that power, money in this instance, resources, I have to submit to your authority and power. We see it playing right now in this dynamic. It is natural last 3 sentences. Last 3 sentences. It is natural to submit to power. Now, you may not like the fact that men are more powerful than women. That's fine. You may not like it, but it's natural to submit to it. Even I have to submit to the people who are in this room right now who may have power, like right now they're demonstrating it, right? This is it. I have to submit to this.
I used to feel so uninspired.
Perfect example, everybody.
And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. And you're the key to my peace.
Alienation now. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. What's making you feel like a natural woman so you could tell us about the nature of women? What's making you feel like a natural woman so you could tell us about the nature of women?
I'll tell you exactly what's making me feel like a natural woman. I'm so happy you asked that question. My desire right now to get into my emotions and respond emotionally is making me feel like a woman because I'm such a strong man. I'm not going to permit myself to do so. I'm such a strong
paid for the thing. Whoever it was, jump in the queue.
And I have to submit to this. Oh, see, they're so powerful.
Go ahead. You could go ahead until they get here. Whoever it is that sent the boxing gloves. Oh, Sen sent it. Okay. All right. Sen is going to talk to you for 5 minutes.
Do I have to consent? Do I have to consent to speaking to this person, or is that part of it, or do I get a say in that, or at all? Miss Host?
No, they paid to come and
Oh,
talk to you.
so I have to speak to them, right? Nobody asks for my permission. Good job, feminists. Let's go.
Go ahead, son. I'll start your clock.
Yeah, I just need some clarification on from him on it is natural to submit to power. So, are black people still enslaved in this country?
Are black people still enslaved in this country? No.
Why not?
There are several different reasons for which it is why we're no longer enslaved.
I think Haiti
Right,
is
but
even a better example, but go on.
but here's the thing. If it is just natural to submit to power, those several reasons would not be a factor because we would be naturally submissive. Wouldn't we still be enslaved?
No, I don't. I'm not tracking with what your logic is. I'm not tracking.
You said that it is natural to submit to power. In America, white men have the power. They had it then, they have it now. So if it's natural to submit, how is it that you have the enslaved that fought back for freedom rather than just submitting and remaining enslaved?
Yeah, I disagree with the presupposition that white men have the power.
I mean, you can
So you
you
thought
can
the
like
slaves had the
disagree.
power?
No, she said currently. She's speaking present day, host.
She asked why slaves are not, why we're not still enslaved. At the time of enslavement, white people had the power, no?
Correct. At that
So
time,
then why,
yes.
so you feel that the slaves should have just submitted because it's natural to submit to power, which means that we would have never gotten out of slavery.
Incorrect. We have to understand incorrect. We have to understand how that power was wielded in those instances or in
No,
that
no,
time.
no, no, no.
All right.
You said
I
it
thought we
is
was going.
natural
You
to
go
submit
again.
to
Yes.
power.
You go. Let me know when I can go, host.
No, that wasn't that was me. We're debating right now. It's me and you. Are you? You seem like you're kind of timid. Are you scared of me? I guess so. So basically, what he's saying is, I'm just gonna go off of what I believe and feel in my tum tum. I'm gonna go off what I feel is the right thing to say, or what I believe is right. If you are going to make the premise or make the claim, because this is your claim, it is natural to submit to power, regardless of what you think, regardless of how that power is wielded, it is still power. And therefore, the enslaved people should have just submitted naturally because it's natural to submit. You
Right.
can go
So
now.
yeah, so let me be very clear about my position again for everybody who's listening. Earlier, the host stated that it's not natural for women to submit to men, right? And just remind you, this claim came off of the prompt. And I suggested, and I still stand firm in this, that it is natural to submit to power. We see it's demonstrated throughout the animal kingdom. Now, are there instances in which where there is injustice, where power is wielded improperly, and injustice entails where you have to resist that injustice? Of course, absolutely. But when power is wielded correctly, it is natural to submit to such. And we've seen it demonstrated here in this room right now. I'll remind you all, those who have the power to therefore mute, drop, or jump up and debate those who they disagree with have that ability to do so. And you all agree with it. You don't find it to be unnatural or outside of the order to resist as such. You think it's permissible to use your power to silence people. Why? Because you think it's the natural thing for that person to do, to submit to them being silenced. You see it demonstrated right now in our dialogue.
Yeah, this is a dialogue, and this is somebody's platform. So we all know that when it comes to platform, we're talking about basic freedoms, natural. We're not talking about boundaries. We're not talking about boundaries. We're not talking about rules. You're conflating boundaries and rules to what is natural. It is natural to take a piss. No one had to make a law about taking a piss. It's natural to take a shit. No one had to make a law for people to shit. It's natural to blink. No one had to make a law for you to blink. Natural means there is no force needed to force a thing into doing something because the thing would do it automatically, you know? So if it took a whole religion to grift women for like thousands of years, and then on top of that, the system of patriarchy to condition, and both of these systems were placed over thousands of years, conditioned and forced women into believing that they were supposed to submit. But
So-
throughout those years, even women have fought back. If somebody is fighting back and resisting, that means it is not natural for women to do. It's not natural for anyone to do.
Got it. So-
Otherwise, we would still be enslaved.
Got it. So let me respond again. If it is the case that folks are suggesting that those men who have a foundation in the belief in Christianity are grifters, again, I must remind everybody it is those men by and large that created the apparatus which it is that you all take advantage of in your fight for equality as women and feminists. Let's be clear about that. In addition, if you're suggesting that the submission to power is not natural and that resistance to this is the proper recourse, then in this instance, when the host says that or anyone else that matter that is unwarranted in a conversation should be muted and therefore removed from the stage, then in their abilities to resist, they should go down to the comments and protest and maybe cuss and yell and scream.
You can if you want to.
I'm almost done.
You can if you want
all
to.
would. I'm almost done.
You have
Nobody
the
in
right
the
to
room. I'm almost done. Nobody in the room would encourage those men to lash out in some form of resistance and protest and vulgarity in other ways. We wouldn't do so. We would say, listen, this is
They
the
do.
rules. I know they do, ma'am. But we would
Okay.
say this is, I just want to be clear about my position. We know they do. It is not encouraged. Why? Because this is the structure that the room has designed. And this is the power that is being wielded. So you should submit to this power. It's not unjustified. That's what I'm suggesting here. I don't think you're encouraging your viewers to then therefore protest and lash out in resistance to your power, are you?
They can if they want to. I don't have to encourage
No,
or
are you
discourage.
encouraging
No,
such?
sir.
You would-
Sir, it's
you
not
would
about what
encourage
I
the slave
encourage.
to do so.
Sir,
The
I'm not
the comparison
encouraging.
sheet.
Sir, you're crashing out.
No, I'm not. You're
Yeah.
not being. You're not being.
You're asking me a
concise.
question and then you're over talking me when I try to answer it. It's just kind of crash outy. Okay, it's giving crash
False.
out, right? So, sir, you have every right to get mad, take your ball, and go home. You have every right to do so, right? There's no power forcing you to not do it. There's no power forcing you to stay. There's no power forcing you to not be able to stay, right? At this point in juncture, there are rules in the house. There's a certain level of respect that I require while you're here. You consent to the rules if you want to be here, right? There are
Submit to
also
the power.
So listen, no, you consent to the rules if you want to be here, right? There are also many other live options, right? So the thing with Christianity, patriarchy, the system being set up is the woman leave one man and go to another. She's still underneath submission as far as you guys are concerned if she stays inside of Christianity. So she leave one husband, go to another husband, same shit. She leave one husband, go to another husband, same shit. She leave that husband, go to another husband, same shit. You can leave my live and go to a live that has different rules that make you feel more comfortable. It's fine. Right? Even with jobs, you submit to the rules of the job. If you feel that the job rules are unethical, you can go and find another job that may have different rules. It's not the same thing.
You're proving my point.
I'm not proving your point. I'm proving my point.
It's natural to submit to the rules
It
of
is-
the job.
You can consent to submit to the rules. And even still, you can even fight back against the rules to a certain extent. Right? You can. You can. Now, here's the thing. Whoop. You know what? Stacy's got you. I put the 5 minutes up. Oh my God. That's such a name. You didn't hear that. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Again, sir, you are inflating interpersonal. You're talking about personal boundaries. You're talking about rules and regulations, right? That's not rules and regulations isn't natural. because it's a rule or regulation. The whole purpose of a rule and a regulation is to make you do something that you may not have done in the first place. For instance, we have a law against murdering people. That way, in case you get the need or you get pissed off or you get mad,
And we have a runner.
All right, I'll save mine for later. I'll jump down. I know I can make it run.
We could chat. We could chat about what he was saying anyway between us anyhow, because here's the deal. Like, there's nothing natural about submitting as a human being, right? As a human being, we have the urge to fight against injustices. And the question that I had wrote down that I wanted to ask him when your one-on-one was done is, what does just use of power look like? See, because he said that it's natural to fight against injustice in uses of power that are unjust. And I'm like, power is always unjust. The fact that there is a power dynamic between humans and humans are created equal, that's what your God said, right? Like, or actually that's what the Constitution says, that we're all created
You got an
equal.
echo.
Oh, I don't know what to do with the echo. I'll mute and unmute. I don't, there, regardless, inequality is already unjust. And that's to sum it up real quick. Inequality is already unjust. But,
Well, here's the thing. Power isn't necessarily just or unjust. It's just power. And it's what is being wielded. But here's the thing. Anytime you put something in place, telling people they have to do something, that is not natural. People aren't just doing that naturally. Serial unalivers. They unalive people. That's them. That is their way. But we put laws and everything in place because their way just happened to interfere with other people's regular lives and way of living. But it's still a law that regulates action. So if you have a law, rules, and regulations that's going to regulate people's what people do and how people move, then it isn't a natural thing. And if you want to say somebody is natural based off of the Bible, it would be men. Because even in the beginning, Adam was the only submissive person, was the primary submissive person in the fall of man. Adam was the one submitting throughout the whole story. Adam. So if there is someone that's just naturally submissive, it would be men. Which is probably the reason why now he thinks that it's just natural to submit to power. He's trying to push it off on women and try to make it seem like it's a thing that people and humans do naturally, to make up for the fact that that's something that he does naturally, to make up the fact that he doesn't question, to make up for the fact that he doesn't rebel, he doesn't believe in revolution. Because again, like I said before, if it was just natural to submit to power, we would still be enslaved people. There is no way around that. Regardless of what happened, when happened, all the other circumstances, there wouldn't have been any circumstances because we would have been happy in our submission.
Yeah.
I agree. Because it literally makes no sense to tell a woman that she's meant to submit, or telling people that they're supposed to submit to a hierarchy. If that was true, why are so many women backing out of being in relationships with y'all if we're naturally meant to submit?
Jeremy, you got the floor.
Okay, so two things. First of all, your audio may be being picked up from two places, not just the microphone. That might be why it's doing that. It's not necessarily an echo. It's just kind of like your voice is double layered over, because it might be coming from two different places. As far as as far as the ED medication being illegal, honestly, I don't necessarily have an opinion on that. It is what it is. If it becomes illegal, so be it. Like, I think that there are some things that we are doing, not taking care of ourselves, that may be pushing us towards having more problems with ED. I don't think it's just a natural occurrence as far as that's concerned. Um, you know that I grew up in the church, so I've seen a lot of things that I was not supposed to see firsthand. So yeah, Christian men are definitely grifters in different forms. I mean, it goes all the way back to these guys being on TV selling the holy water and the prayer towels to
I know
now.
you lying.
Oh,
What's
you
the
didn't
prayer
know about that?
towel?
You ain't know about the holy water and the prayer towels?
No.
Listen,
No.
girl. Ooh, that's worse.
Yes, the 90s were diabolical about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't remember that old white dude's name, but him, Benny Hinn, all these dudes was all over the TV and they were selling that stuff. I'm not even joking. They sell it for like $50, $60 for like a little small vial of
For
water.
a towel and a vial of water, you know what? I'm hanging
Yeah.
up now.
Yeah. It was bad. It was real bad. So that energy is translated into social media where, a lot of times you see similar things on TikTok where they're like, you send me, such and such gifts and I'll speak a blessing over you. I'll pray for you or whatever. And like literally a lot of these folks have never even like read, 15 pages entirely from the Bible, but they're gonna reconstitute and remix certain scriptures in order to, you know, get what they need to get out of it. So definitely I've seen a lot of grifting, especially lately on TikTok.
Yeah, listen, putting tap water in a bottle and then saying a prayer over it and selling it to somebody for $20 is craziness. Okay? It's
Well, if you
absolutely
say a prayer
craziness.
over it, you bless it. Well, if you bless it, it then becomes holy water.
No.
See, I'm a buy some of that shit just to put some on towel and walk around slapping people with it. Because what are we talking about?
First of all, how do you even know that anybody prayed over it? How do you even know when you get it? Does it smell different? Does it look different? Does it have, like, what the fuck did you do to it? How do I know, first of all, that your prayer has any power whatsoever? How do I know that you prayed over it at all? You know what I'm saying? This, like, putting
'Cause the
tap
water was
water in a bottle
nasty.
and praying over it and selling it to people for $20. Listen, Mirama, what prayer did they pray? Okay?
Right. It was massively distributed, and that's the reason why I know that that's not the case. Because you ain't finna sit there and pray over every single bottle of water. Like you had a factory that was like running an assembly line, and the robot was pouring the water into the bottle and sealing it up. Like y'all were sending this all over the country. You're not finna sit there and pray over every single bottle.
Skip me, my thoughts exactly the same. Like, listen, I'm a side hustle kind of girl. Don't get it twisted. I am a side hustle kind of girly, and I'm like, you know what? I need to start making some damn holy water and tell them that it was prayed over by a black woman.
Yellow, I'm about to start doing cuss words over water and selling it to people.
Listen, I'm gonna do all the fucking things. Like, I'm gonna just put some water in a bottle. Look, I'm gonna tell them that they could spike people and curse them with it. How about that? You know what I mean? I got some bad juju water too, right? So we got good juju water and we got bad juju water. And I'll send you the bad juju water and you just throw that shit in somebody's coffee and I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen to them, but whatever. Like, this shit is ridiculous.
Tell them when they pour it in their glass, it turns into wine.
Oh my God. Put it in wine and it'll turn into wine. And they'll be like, it worked. Yo, the grifting of Christianity is insane. And the thing about it is, like, if you get people, and you will get people, if you get people that have no moral compass, Christian people are a bottomless pit of money. They are. They're a bottomless pit of money. If you lack ethical decorum, like if you are cool with just running scams and shit like that, Christian people are bottomless money. Like, you will never be without money if Christian people are the people you want to scam. You'll never be without money. All right, we got Nay the Poet. Welcome up.
Hi. So, to be clear, well, I'm asking, but for the first question, are you talking about,
Erectile dysfunction.
oh, no, I thought it was something else. My bad. Got it.
No,
All
erectile
right, I'm not
dysfunction.
really educated to talk on that topic, but the second topic, I mean, I don't really have like an opinion on that either. But you have a great day.
Okay, that was interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what she thought ED was.
She didn't tell us. Yeah. So
Well, with that being said, really quickly before we let the next person up on the panel, can we get all 74 people in the live to tap up the screen? We got our beautiful, gracious yellow to 30K likes so far. That was excellent. Y'all met my goal originally, but I would like for us to get her to 50K. Let's get this thing popping off. Let's send out the shares, the heart me's. If you haven't sent out your heart me's for today, do not forget to do so. Let's trigger the algorithm, bring some people up in here, drop some go populars, and do not forget to go add the YouTube. She's streaming on YouTube currently right now. So if you want to go where the conversation can be unfiltered, then absolutely switch over to the YouTubes. You'll have a good time up over there. But anyways, we'll get right back to it. We got Luke on the panel. Luke, are you 18 years or older, sir?
Yes, I am.
All right, Yellow, it's on you, big lady.
Oof, my sound sounds terrible. Is it mine or is it his?
That's definitely him. That's definitely him.
I'll mute.
That's okay. Well, I want to hear you talk, so I'm
You
not
might
sure.
want to put
if
that
you're-
phone on some rice or something, because whoa.
Yeah. Go ahead and come off of mute again, Luke. We're going to get this figured out.
Yeah.
All right. So are you on like headphones or Bluetooth or something? Your car?
Yeah, but I can't take them out.
All right. All right.
Is it
Listen,
real bad?
we'll work with it. We'll try our best and work with it. So which topic do you want to talk about? ED medication should be illegal, or Christian men are gifters?
Christian men are grifters.
Okay, go right on ahead, sir. Do you agree or you disagree?
I disagree.
Okay, tell me why.
I know you got a lot of bad like ministers and stuff like that around, but I don't think you should say Christians as in as a totality. I just think there are bad people in each group.
Oh no, I mean Christian men. I meant it the way that I wrote it, because I'm not even talking specifically about pastors. I'm even talking about the everyday sitting in the church and telling some woman that she needs to submit because Ephesians told them so. That's a grift. Like telling somebody that they should abort their own personal beliefs, their own, whatever it is that they're feeling pulled towards energetically to be the answer, to listen to what the fuck I said. No, not education. No. Erectile dysfunction, Dr. Rita. And I was afraid maybe I should put erectile D. Maybe if I put that, I might be okay. That is a grift on women for her labor, right? That's a grift on women to just comply. Right? Tricking somebody into just complying, even if that's not what they wanted to do, is a grift. Right? Utilizing some societal norm or whatever it is in order to trick people out of having their own thoughts, their own desires, moving about life the way that they want to move about life, or even, yeah, I think you're right. I'll put dysfunction. I think that's the better way to do it. I'll fix it. That's a grift.
But that could be like anything in a capitalist country.
I agree.
That's what I mean.
I agree.
Within the systems that we have in America, you're always going to have people that are going to take advantage anywhere they see people that are weak. However, to say that it as a religion and the men within it are just grifters, it leads to the assumption that all men within the Christian religion is a grifter, and I disagree with that. And I got one more
I
question for
don't
the host. I got one more question for the host. What's
go
that
ahead.
stuff at the top? What is that? I see let the man talk. Is that like paper or what is that?
What?
What?
At, it's above let the man talk. I was just wondering what that stuff was.
Oh, that's my store. You want to buy something?
Yeah.
That's my TikTok shop store, right? So right now, my collection that's in the store from the Canary Design Collection is Black, Booked, and Brilliant. Okay, so there's hoodies, there's tote bags, there's mugs, right? And they all say Black, Booked, and Brilliant. All right, so you can head on over to my profile and you'll see my TikTok store there. And you can make any of the purchases over there. So that's actually my own ad for my own stuff.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I
Yeah.
respect that.
So
I
yeah.
got a
So
niece that's graduate. Well, she's about to start college. I might go into it.
yeah, and if you want a personal message on either the mug or the tumbler, let me know, and I can make a personal message on it. I have one of the cups here. That's the water cup right there. It
Oh,
says
you got tumblers now.
yeah. So it says Black, Booked, and Brilliant on the bottom. And then if you want something else on the other side, look, I got me like reading my book on the other side. That was like one of the
That is so
yeah,
cute.
so if there's something like an image or a personal message that you want on the other side, talk to me about that and we can get that done too. But yeah, that's me there. There's my image of myself enjoying my book with my canary hoodie on and the Black, Booked, and Brilliant tumbler.
And you said the link is in the bio, huh?
The link actually when you go onto TikTok, there's like a little shopping bag. If you touch the shopping bag, it's orderable right from there. But
Okay,
if you want
cool.
something other than it just having the book, the Black, Booked, and Brilliant on it by itself, and you want something else on the other side, like it could be an image, or it could be to somebody that's graduating to such and such, blah 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 blah, and then your name, whatever it is, let me know. We can do that as well. But that's my Black, Booked, and Brilliant collection for right now. So since you asked what the sticker at the top was for, it's my own. It's my own commercial up there. So thanks for asking.
But back to what Mr. Luke was saying, right? Because he said that's not every man, Christian man, or a man that's partaking in religion. And we never said that it was. That would imply that we said all
Oh,
the
I'm
men
saying
act this
all.
way.
I'm saying all.
We-
I'm saying all. Let me make sure that I'm saying all. I'm saying all. All the Christian men are grifters. They're grifting. If they're not in the church grifting for money, they're at home grifting from their woman, making her feel as though he has authority over her and that they're not equal partners in their relationship. And that is a grift. That's an emotional grift. It's a labor grift. Living as a Christian couple is a grift on the woman. Right. And then the societal grift is telling women that these are the men that they should be looking for. A man that has a fear of God. Right. I want a God fearing man, which literally means translates over to I want a Christian man. And then when you have a man that's abiding by the rules of Christianity, he is grifting you out of labor, emotion, educational thought. Now you're not an equal
I don't.
partner in the relationship.
I don't agree with that. I think the ones that do that, yes, I would agree they would be being dishonest. They're not living based off of the word. But I think men who follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, they really are good Christian men. And I don't think that there's that type of imbalance and inequality within the relationship.
So let me go on and say this. Do you think that a Christian woman should follow the rules of the Bible?
Yes.
Do you think a Christian man should follow the rules of the Bible?
Yes.
Are y'all toiling the earth?
When you go out and work, you toil. Yes.
Okay. Are you gouging your eyes out and cutting your hands off? Because you're supposed to gouge your eyes out if you look at a woman that's not your wife in a lustful way. So, like, are Christian men that, what's the name of the guy that said, you better stomp? Kirk Franklin. How come Kirk Franklin still got both his eyes? Because that nigga was big into porn, right? So he was looking at women in lustful ways, but he has not gouged his eyes out. And I've never heard of a man that was a Christian man that looked at some corn and gouged his eyes out. I've never heard of a Christian man that was standing in church looking at Sister whose body definitely shows through whatever the fuck she has on, right? Because we be talking about, well, she shouldn't wear this, she shouldn't wear this. Listen, some ladies just got body, yada, 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 and it don't matter what the fuck you put on it. It's going to show. I seen women with body, yada, yada, that show through the Muslim garb. That thing that's just like one big square cloth, and I still was seeing that donk-a-donk move from the back of it. Listen, because I don't have no problems looking where I want to look. I'm going to look everywhere I want to look if the looking is looking for looking at, right? But I never see y'all gouge your eyes out. But
Yeah,
you
no one
stay asking women to submit.
The Bible says that the woman should submit. The man
And the
should
Bible
submit
says
to
you should gouge
God
his eyes
and
out.
huh?
And the Bible says y'all should gouge your eyes out. And as a matter of fact, it's red lettering that says gouge your eyes out. It's black lettering that says we should submit.
So
Well, you already know me, Yellow. I try not to do the thing where we say it's every man unless I know for a fact. And I don't know a lot of church people because I've been ejecto myself out of the whole religion thing a long time ago. But what was the punishment for men coveting another man's wife? Because that I see a lot. Like, have y'all not noticed that?
Listen, don't. You're saving him from answering the question that I asked him right now. You're saving him from answering the question that I asked him, which was about the fact that it's in red lettering, which means Jesus said it, that y'all should gouge your eyes out. It's in black lettering that we should submit. Black lettering means that Jesus didn't say it, Jesus didn't do it. I know it's an echo. I don't know what to do about it. I've been tinkering with all the things and I only made it worse. So look, if that's the case, why aren't you guys gouging your eyes out?
well, if you gouge your eyes out, you'll end up in an institution.
You're talking about the if. Who cares? Y'all believe that you get down on your knees and someone's talking to you. You're hearing voices in your mind. You should also
Well,
be
no,
institutionalized.
I mean that's just it's faith. That's the thing. I think
Okay, well,
people
listen, you should gouge your eyes out in faith because Jesus told you so. So listen, the directive to gouge your eyes out was from Jesus. The directive for us to submit was from Jesus's homie after Jesus was already dead, interpreting what he believes Jesus would say if they had a conversation with Jesus that they didn't have.
all right. Okay, so I'll tell you what. I do think that men need to be more disciplined.
No, they need to
Right?
gouge their eyes out.
I would say if that's what
Why
the
are you
Bible says,
struggling?
and
I thought you already established that you believe that men should follow the Bible if they're Christian men.
yes,
So
I
why are
did,
we
and
finding
that's what
reasons for them to
I'm not
avoid it?
finding reasons. I'm
You
actually
are.
about to agree with you
Go ahead.
on the gouging of the eye. Right? If you are if you are an undisciplined man and you are lusting after a woman, yes, gouge out your eyes if that's what if the Bible says.
Now, have you ever looked at a woman with lustful eyes?
I'm not married.
You don't have to be married. You don't have to be married.
I thought you said the Bible said it has to be married. If a married man.
No, it doesn't say that. Let's go to the Bible. Let's go there. Let's go to let's go to the Word of God, right? Let me add in. Here we go. Ooh, that's big. All right, let's shrink that down. That looks terrible. I got so many daggone. Okay, let's a little bit more. Little bit more. Okay. Oh, still a little bit more. I hate these different things, but I do love being able to bring them up. Hopefully that does it. Okay, now we're in good space right now. So let me bring it to the front. Okay, it says, you have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And it says his heart so that we know that even when he said anyone, he was talking about men, right? Because if it said in their heart, then we would say, oh, we're talking about men and women looking at women. But he's not talking about men and women looking at women. He's talking about men when he says his heart, right? But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart.
But
If your
but it's
right
anyone.
eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. Now, my next question when we go down this line is, what do
But
you think God wants you to do?
There was a qualifier in that.
Go ahead.
There was a qualifier.
I'll bring it back up.
hmm
What was the qualifier?
It says, when you says anyone, where
Yeah.
is that at?
Anyone.
Anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery. So, what is adultery?
So listen,
Adultery happens when you're married.
listen.
You don't commit
No.
adultery when you're
He's
not
cheating.
married.
You're cheating on your wife that doesn't even exist yet.
I'm not married.
Listen, that's what it is. You're cheating on the wife that doesn't even exist yet.
That's not how that
It's
works.
anyone. It doesn't say any married man. It says anyone.
Anyone, but
Mm-hmm.
it says adultery. So you have to be in a position to commit adultery.
Anyone means anyone.
Yes, anyone who is married.
It doesn't say anyone who is married. It says anyone who looks at a woman.
The adultery is the
No,
caveat.
what he's saying is that
Adultery.
the action is adultery. He's redefining
No,
adultery.
what is?
Listen,
Yeah, the
look.
action is adultery if
Let's
you're
go
married.
back. No. Let's go back a sentence. Because in this, he is redefining adultery. Right? He's redefining adultery. He says, you have heard it was said you should not commit adultery. Right? It says that. You have heard, like in the past, that it was
Right.
said you should not commit adultery. He is
Okay, now I got
now.
something to say.
He is now. You're having an issue with talking while I'm talking.
I'm not having an issue, but you're moving on,
Okay,
and
so
I
let
want to
me
hit
help
that
you.
one
Let me
point.
help you not talk while I'm talking. Okay. So he says in the past, you knew no one should commit adultery. He's redefining adultery when he says, but I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery.
What is adultery? Because he's not.
He has redefined
adultery.
it. Yes, he did.
He's
He
then
redefined
redefining
it with the word anyone. Listen, you
No,
would
that's
do
not.
anything.
You don't. You
Let me
can't
tell you something.
redefine something
You
with
will.
anyone.
You think
What
Jesus
is
can't
adultery?
redefine it? You think Jesus can't redefine a word?
Adult. Sir,
You
ma'am,
think that
me-
Jesus
ma'am.
Christ, Savior of the Christians, who died on the cross so your sins would be forgiven, who has lived
No.
the life that we should all
I'm
pattern our
saying
lives after,
you.
cannot
No, I'm saying
redefine a
you're reading it
word?
wrong. Yeah,
I'm not reading it
saying
wrong. I'm going to tell you
you're
what
reading
it
it
is.
wrong.
Listen, I'm
You're
not
reading it
reading
wrong.
Okay.
Because what?
I'm not reading it wrong. You're trying to change it so that you can give
I'm not
space to
trying.
yourself. You're not reading it wrong. You are changing it so you can give space to yourself.
I'm
He
not
said
changing it to get
anyone.
space. What is adultery? You have to look at what adultery
Adultery,
is.
originally, I'm going to mute you because your sound is fucking up the whole audio of the live, right? Adultery initially meant, prior to this conversation, married people cheating on married people. But he says, but I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully, not just married people, anyone. That's why he said, that's why he's changing it. He's changing the meaning when he says, y'all said we shouldn't commit adultery. Everybody understands at that point that adultery is married people cheating, right? But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully, not just the married man, anyone, has already committed adultery in his heart. What he's saying is stop here's the funny thing. You know what you're fighting for? You're fighting for single men to still be able to objectify women. Because that's what Jesus is saying. Don't objectify women. If you objectify women, you are committing adultery in your heart. And you're fighting with everything you have to not make it be that that's what he's saying.
No, I'm not trying to do everything it has. I mean, it's just based off of the verse. Now, I do believe that he is extending what adultery is, but he's not changing up the meaning. So rather than adultery simply being a physical act, he's saying that adultery could also be a mental act in the sense of lusting.
Okay, so we have somebody up here that's an actual English major. Welcome up, Cameron. What are your thoughts on my interpretation? Hey, honey.
Oh God, don't make me be an English nerd. I'm gonna have to do it.
Do it.
So the word "but" it indicates that both statements are true. If I were to say, I'm beautiful, but I'm smart, or but I'm also smart, both of those can be true. So the word "but" actually indicates that both statements are true. And the second one does say anyone. It doesn't say of those people, or we see grammatical structure in the Bible say things like of those people, or they're very specific with who they name. People who own cows, they're very specific. So anyone literally means anyone. And I'll hate to say this to you, but this really just applies to men. It doesn't apply to women, because women weren't even considered at the Nicene Convention or at any other those big meetings where they got together and talked about the Bible. So they're really not talking about women here. They're actually talking about men.
And the men
you can't say anyone and then
stop over talking me. Right? Look, maybe the rules are not clear, right? So house rules. The hammer is the drop, the raccoon is the mute, and the punching bag is for the 5-minute one-on-one where I put myself on mute and let y'all talk to each other, right? No over talking, right? No personal stories, no personal questions, and 2-minute max per go, right? I don't know. I might need to rethink this so that it's more clear. Perhaps it's not clear enough or it's not big enough. I don't know what I need to do to it, but those are the rules over here, right? No over talking, no personal stories, no personal questions to me, right? Because y'all be up here asking me my fucking body count. Fuck off. And then 2-minute max per go, right? Which means don't come up here and tell us a long, elongated story and then we're all waiting for you to get to the fucking end, right? Keep your shit concise. Look, to Cameron on he's only talking to men, he made that clear in the statement because at the end he says, already committed adultery with her in his heart. Mm-hmm. So he's letting us know even in that same sentence that he's talking to men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
let me say this real quick. Luke,
Luke,
it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. It's a sin.
It does matter because that's how he extended adultery, the meaning of adultery.
What are the 10 commandments, Luke? What is one of the 10 commandments?
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Right. It's the same word. So when you look at Hebrew, Luke,
and the 10 commandments apply to who?
Why are you struggling so hard with the not over talking?
Yeah, Luke,
you're really struggling with it. So let me help you and give you a thing. When someone else is talking, mute yourself. So if you interrupt, nobody else hears it but you. No one can hear anyone if two people are talking at once.
Right. Luke, do you know anything about the Nicene Convention, what they did with Jesus? You know, God in the Hebrew text was non-binary. You know that, right? I studied Hebrew poetry. I don't mean to nerd out. You know that God is non-binary, correct? And that men at the Nicene Convention made God a man. You know that, right? They assigned the pronoun he to God. And that was, those were religious officials. You know about that, right? The gendering of God.
I'm not arguing God's pronouns. I'm talking about the text and
Right.
how they used adultery.
Right.
So if adultery went from a physical act to now it can be a mental act, that would be the change.
Right. And all of them are punishable by cutting your wheelie off or whatever. I don't even know the consequences.
But she said it's anyone, including single men.
Yeah, right.
Anyone means anyone.
It is
Anyone
not.
means anyone, Luke. It doesn't mean, they didn't say the husband will be punished, Luke. They said anyone. And they specifically chose that word. No. Here's the thing. If they were to use an antecedent, do you know what an antecedent is, Luke? Of course you don't. So an antecedent is like a word that a pronoun refers to. If they wanted to use an antecedent to refer back to husband, they would have said the husband, but they didn't do that. They said anyone. So when they translated that portion of the text, the antecedent they used was anyone, which means that's the subject. That literally means anyone. And because we know the Bible was written for men by men, that means all men, singular or not, because he would have specified if it was a married man or a husband. Look, how many times in the Bible do you see the word husband? A ton of times. If he meant it, he would have said it. That's all, Luke.
I hear what you're saying, ma'am, and I'm not trying. All I'm saying is I disagree. I think your argument is disingenuous because you're saying what they would have.
Luke. Like, why wouldn't you trust me if I'm an English major and I understand the structure of language? Why would you not trust an expert opinion? I've studied language my whole life, Luke. Why would you not accept my knowledge to be true?
Because it doesn't feel good.
No, it ain't because I don't feel good. Well, did you study English?
Oh my God.
I did, honey. Listen, I studied linguistics. I studied grammatical structure, syntax. I studied Hebrew poetry, Luke. I took a class in the Old Testament and the New Testament. Luke, I'm telling you, I know the Bible and I've studied this, but you still refuse to believe the argument I present toward grammatical structure. And I'm an expert, Luke, and you still refuse to believe me on it.
Well, let me ask you something, Miss
Cameron.
Let me ask you something. This is weird, right?
Yeah.
People that studied the Bible and got degrees in the Bible, biblical scholars.
Bible, Luke. Don't interrupt.
Right? Do biblical scholars debate the Bible?
Sir, you are debating the word anyone.
No.
Sir, no. Let's keep it where we are at, right? Because you're reaching into
no.
You're over-talking me again.
Why are you protecting her?
I'm not protecting her. When she overtalked you a moment ago, I told her not to overtalk you. It just happened. It just happened that she overtalked you, and I told her not to overtalk you.
Oh no, I ain't talking about the overtalking. I'm talking about me.
It was my theory. She came up to back me. I'm not protecting her. It's what I was fucking saying from the beginning.
Well, then both of y'all wrong.
No. You don't want to be included because it means you're supposed to gouge your eyes out. And if you don't gouge your eyes out, it means that you are not following the Bible. And the truth of the matter is that the Bible has always been literal for women and metaphorical for men. For men, y'all always think that the rules that were put forth that are for you to follow, you don't actually have to fucking follow them. But when it comes to the rules that were put forth for women, you think that we really should do that shit. You really think that we should maintain our virginity. You really think that we should be submissive. You really think we should whatever. But you don't really think that you should toil the fucking earth. Not go to work. Toil the fucking earth. Right? You don't think that you're supposed to do that. You don't think that you're supposed to gouge your eyes out. You don't think you're supposed to cut your hands off. And by the way, it probably implies you should cut your goddamn dick off too. It just doesn't say it. Because here's when we look at it. It says ye, and now I decided to change it over to the King James so that we could read it in an older version. It says, ye have heard it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. It doesn't even in the Old Testament, in the King James, still doesn't say husband. Do you want us to keep going through all of the ones so that we can find one that says husband for you?
Y'all are
No.
misreading
Then
the
it goes on.
text,
You're
and all
over
of
talking
this
me
is because
again. You're struggling with that, sir. That is
you just
now.
asked me a
No.
question.
I didn't ask you a question. I was going on to talk about how it probably means cut your dick off, right?
Okay,
Because
I'll
you're
be
doing
quiet.
it
Let me know
again
when I can
now.
talk. Just let me know when I can talk.
Stay on mute until I'm done, right? I was literally reading, right? So it says, hath already, whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath already committed adultery with her in his heart. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body be cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, that not the whole body be cast into hell. Let me tell you what, if you read that, and you could imply that if you sin with your dick, you should cut your dick off and cast it off as well. But that part isn't in there, so whatever, we could leave that up for debate. I don't care what the fuck you say. It says whosoever. Whosoever. That's what it says in King James. When we go over to NIV, which is more to today's English, right? Easier for those people to read, and I understand people wanting to read the NIV instead. When you go to NIV, lots of things have changed, but what they didn't change was the word whosoever. Whosoever directly translates into anyone. Now, if they thought when they were translating it that whosoever doesn't mean whosoever means husband, when they translated from King James over to NIV, they would have made the fucking change, because they did that in other places where they were like, we're trying to put it in today's English so that there be no confusion, and they go ahead and change the direct word, because when you look at it in King James and you look at it in NIV, it doesn't exactly mean the fucking same thing. They did not change that, which means that they were all in agreement. I don't know how many motherfuckers got to be in a room in order to make a new version of the Bible, but however many it takes, all of them were in the room and agreed we're keeping the word anyone for whosoever. Now I'm done and you can go, sir.
Yeah, you said all that just to cover up the fact that you're misreading the text. You're misreading the text. If you were to go back and find out what adultery meant in those old days,
He's
it was
redefining
physical.
adultery.
He's not redefining adultery. He's just extending the aspect of
to
what
include
adultery
everyone.
is.
To include
No,
everyone.
to include lusting. To include lusting. So you go from a physical act to a mental act, which is the act of lusting.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same
Yeah,
thing.
it is. It's objectifying
It's not
women.
the same thing.
Lusting after
Sleeping
women.
with somebody physically, so
Yeah,
you would be
it's treating
okay.
women.
So
No,
your man. If
Well, let me
you
explain what I
so
mean, Luke. Let me explain what I
okay.
mean. It's turning women into objects, right? When you lust after a woman, you don't know who she is, her mind, her body, her soul, her heart, her dreams, her desires. It's what God is not wanting you to do is turn women into objects. What he wants you to do is view them as humans, I think. But that's just me. So when you lust after a woman, that is purely physical. It's the same thing as hiring a sex worker. You're using her for her body. So lusting after a woman indicates that you don't know a woman. You're not learning her heart. You're not learning her mind. You're not learning her soul. It's objectifying women. So I believe God is warning against the objectification of women. How about that, Luke?
Well, then it goes back to you going based off of your belief.
No. When you lust after a
You
woman,
said I
Luke,
believe.
okay,
You
let me
said
ask
I
you this.
believe.
Okay, well then let me ask you this. When you lust after a woman, say you think a girl is hot, or I'm sorry, a woman is hot. So do you know her, Luke?
No.
Right. You don't know. Do you know anything about who she is, what she likes in the bedroom, whether or not she's even attracted to men? Do you even know that?
No.
Right.
No.
So it's objectifying.
It's the
women.
mental thing, right?
Right. Exactly, Luke. So
Right.
here's my point.
So
Now, listen to
and
me.
and
No,
mental is different than
Luke,
physical.
Shut up, Luke.
Luke,
Let me
shut
finish.
the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. The point I'm making is this. When you lust after a woman, that is the objectification of a woman. When you lust after her physically or in your fucking heart or in your fucking penis, Luke, I don't know where you lust after her. The point is, what God doesn't want you to do is turn her into a goddamn object to be admired or hurt in our culture, because we know 3 out of 4 women are essayed before the age of 25, Luke. So what I think God is saying here is you need to stop looking at women as these objects that will fulfill your lust. Stop using us as objects for your babies and objects for your own sexual pleasure. That's what God is telling you, Luke. It's not about your horniness, Luke. Men want to always make it about them and what's in their pants and their fucking horniness and what they fucking want. How about it's about protecting women and not viewing them as objects of lust, so you're not fucking attacking them, Luke? How about that? Why don't we interpret the Bible that way, and maybe we'll get a better fucking message for women and girls and keep them safer, Luke? God damn.
I'm going to go to AI. Let's ask ChatGPT what ChatGPT thinks. So I typed into ChatGPT, and as you can see, this is my ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT, right? I typed into ChatGPT while Cameron was talking. In this text, does the word anyone include single men? And then I put the text, but I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Let's see what ChatGPT described, because ChatGPT is non-emotional. And as a matter of fact, ChatGPT leans a little bit patriarchal, if anything at all. Okay? Because most of the people that are feeding ChatGPT are actually men. Now, I'm not sure. Are you guys able to read it clearly, or do I need to expand it more and just kind of move back and forth?
We can read. If you can read out a little bit, we can read most of it.
Okay.
It's a mute point anyway, because that's not what I'm arguing.
Again, you're talking while I'm trying to talk. Again. So let's just ask you, Luke, are you capable of not over talking?
Ma'am.
No, are you capable? Just answer the question, because you're demonstrating that the answer is no. So I'm asking you if you believe that you're capable. Are you capable of not over talking, and you're just choosing to do it, or it's an issue like a mental health issue and you're not capable?
But are you capable of having the argument we're arguing?
I'm having the conversation. Mute yourself, and I'm going to read what ChatGPT has to say. All right?
You're not.
Keep yourself on. You know what? Moderators, at this point, I'm going to ask you to assist Luke in staying on mute while I'm talking. So moderators, I'm asking you guys to assist Luke in staying on mute while I'm talking. All right. It says, yes, anyone includes single men. The Greek phrase means everyone who looks. It does not limit the statement to married men, per Bible Hub. The word adultery normally concerns violating a marriage, so some readers understand the woman as married or the desire as wanting someone who is not lawfully yours. But Jesus' larger point is that the commandment reaches beyond the physical act to deliberate cultivation of sexual desire in the heart, whether the man himself is married or single. Also, this is not saying that noticing an attractive woman or experiencing an involuntary feeling is adultery. The word suggests that looking for the purpose of lusting, continuing or directing the gaze to sexually possess her in one's imagination. That's what ChatGPT said, right? So that's not me as a feminist answering. That's not Cameron up here as my friend answering. That's not even her English, whatever. That's not coded by feminism or women. That is literally ChatGPT's interpretation of the word everyone in that sentence. You may go, Luke.
Did you ask ChatGPT what adultery was in the Old Testament?
Luke.
No, you're not going to do that. And you know why? Because it's going to prove you wrong. You're answering while I'm answering your question, right? It was hypothetical.
Stop. Oh, if it's hypothetical, then I don't have to do it, right?
Well, you weren't going to do it anyway.
Sure I would. I have no problem.
No, you wouldn't.
It would not. Stop it. You're being childish. You're acting like a child. You're acting like a child. Do you want to have this conversation in good faith or not?
I'm trying to have the conversation in good faith. You are not.
Let's do it. Let's have the conversation in good faith. I am
Okay.
happy. Listen, I am happy to put that question in there. But I want you to understand that the answer to the question doesn't change the fact that Jesus was changing the definition. So all we will be establishing is what the rule of old was that he was referring to and now changing. But let's do it. That's all that answer would establish, because he says it is what was said of old, right? You know that it was said of old. Here, let me go back to it. You have heard it was said before, right? That's the old. So we can read what the old is, but it doesn't change the fact that he has changed the law. So let's do it. Tell me what you want me to type, and I'll type it.
I mean, Luke, does that not land with
No,
you?
no. Let him do his thing. Luke, what do you want me to type?
No, it's land. Okay. As ChatGPT, what the Old Testament considered adultery to be.
What does the Old Testament consider adultery to be? I think I spelled adultery wrong. Yeah, there needed an E in there. It's okay. The Old Testament's legal definition, adultery was sexual intercourse between a married or betrothed woman and a man who was not her husband. The man involved could be married or single. Leviticus describes it as a man sleeping with another man's wife. Deuteronomy likewise says the wife of another man. Both consenting parties were considered guilty. So single man plus married betrothed woman, adultery. Married man plus another married or betrothed woman, adultery. Married man plus unmarried, betrothed woman, not technically classified as adultery under the Torah. So married men could have sex with other women, right? So in its original Old Testament context, adultery did not simply mean every sexual thought or sexual relationship outside of one's marriage. It specifically involved violating an existing marriage or betrothal, particularly another man's marital covenant. The distinction matters when interpreting what Jesus meant by adultery in his heart. Right? So now we're going to say, what did Jesus expand adultery to include? Adultery to include, and does that definition include single men?
Yeah, I would argue, Yellow, single men here are under the rule that they can't look at married women. So what happens if you're lusting after a married woman on the beach or something and you don't know that she's married? So, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean, dude? Like, it's that's pretty much, even if your argument is true, which it isn't, that would also indict single men who look at married women. Right? Wouldn't it? I mean, does that make sense?
So it says
No.
Jesus expanded the
Sure it
moral
does.
scope of adultery from the completed physical act to the deliberate intention on the heart. And it goes into
That's what I said.
Okay, so does it include single men? Yes. The Greek says pas hobliom, essentially everyone who looks. Jesus does not qualify it by saying every married man. Therefore, a single man is not exempt. What else do you want?
There it is.
I will take.
Yeah,
Wait.
Before I drop,
Both.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Now, both of us have a concession because y'all were saying everyone is what changed it, and I said that it was the lustful act, the mental, that extended the definition of what adultery was, and that's exactly what that text says.
Luke.
Wait a minute.
Luke,
Now you.
Okay, let me help you. Nobody disputes that. Nobody disputes that he has added in looking. We weren't even having that part of the conversation because we thought Sir, stop. I was trying to tell you. Start talking while I'm in the middle of the word because. You struggle with self-discipline. One of the things you said that men needed was more discipline. Start with yourself. You need discipline. right? No one even argued with you, stating that he was adding in looking, because everybody in the room thought that was self-evident and not worthy of an argument that we already agree with. So the point of contention was never whether or not he extended it to include looking, because everybody that read the text understood and agreed to that. The point of contention, the point of disagreement was, are single men included? No one said, "You're wrong, Luke, he's not including looking." No one said that. We all agree that he expanded it in two ways, by including looking and including single men. You
But wait,
disputed the single man part.
and here's the thing. Even the looking has a caveat to it, because it said just simply looking, if you just look and say, oh, she's attractive, or oh, she looks good, that's not adultery.
Sir, it says in the Bible, look
What?
lustfully.
No.
Sir,
What does the meaning?
that's not a point of contention. You're arguing things that we've already agreed to, so that when we agree to what we already agreed to, you could feel like you forced an agreement. We all already agree with that.
All right.
Before
So did
you
you
said
not
it.
say?
Luke, do you lust after flowers?
Did you not say?
Luke, do you
Did
lust
you not
after
say?
flowers? Luke, this is the objectification of women. They're talking about women. You don't lust over a flower, do you? Calling it pretty, right?
Noticing that a woman is beautiful
Luke.
is not the same thing as lusting.
Right.
We understood
I think flowers
that.
are pretty,
Listen,
Yellow.
hold on.
Flowers are pretty. I don't lust over them, right? I don't lust over flowers or
But
my pretty
yeah,
carpet.
it's a benign objection, observation. It's a benign observation that a person could be beautiful. Wow, she's beautiful. Listen, we as women, even straight women, we as people that are not pedophiles, right, would look at a child and say, "My God, that's a beautiful little girl." It doesn't mean we think about fucking her. Right?
And if a man says, "My God, that's a beautiful woman," would y'all say he lusting,
Luke,
or would you say he's just thinking she's beautiful?
But it's not always that way, Luke, because, the amount of times, if you've ever been a woman, which you haven't been, men don't look at us that way. I have very rarely had a man say to me, that's not true. I've had them say that. But here's the thing, Luke. At the end of the day, a man's primary goal is going to be to try to get with that woman or get her in a place of intimacy. And he uses those words a lot of times to lure her into that. That's a strategy of men. It's to say, you're beautiful. But here's the thing, Luke. Other than that, if you notice her as beautiful, you are still in some ways lusting after her. If it's because if she's the opposite sex, she's the one you're attracted to, the group of people you're attracted to, that is still lust, Luke. I mean, and you can't separate the two. Well, my question
No,
is,
you
let
can't.
me ask real quick.
I'll separate the two.
How do you separate lust and how do you separate them, Luke?
I will separate them. I'll give Luke that point personally.
But
that
how do we
you
know,
can
Luke?
you can
Well, how do we
notice
know?
you can
Right?
notice someone's beauty without lusting after them, right?
But men don't do that, Yellow.
Okay.
Often.
So
when
okay.
1 out of 8 are predators, I'm doing statistics right now. I'm not
right.
doing my
So
feeling.
if you said how many out of 8?
They're not painting pictures, Yellow. I think it's 1 out of every 8 men, and they're
Right,
not.
so
Painting
7
pictures
out of
us,
8
Yellow.
men may not necessarily be doing that, right?
But they still can be lusting, right?
Look, what I'm saying is
Watching porn.
Okay. Because I cannot truly insert myself into being a man, right? I will leave it saying that it is possible to notice someone is beautiful without necessarily lusting after them. I would like to believe that maybe a dad could think his daughter-in-law is beautiful. I would like to believe that a dad could think his daughter is beautiful and not be lusting after her. Right? I would like to believe that a man could see his niece and not lust after her. I think men could even think that their own sister is a beautiful woman and not lust after. Men can think their mother is a beautiful woman and not lust after her. So I'll leave it that men can see a woman, acknowledge that she's beautiful, and not be thinking about how quickly or what position he could have her in to put his dick inside. Right? So regardless of that, the matter of fact, regardless of all of those things, let me make sure that there's clarity, because this is what I realized, the tactic that Luke was using. He's using things we did not disagree with to now make an argument to feel that he got something over us that was right, that we already agreed to before. So let me make the list of things we already agreed to so that you can stop this weird chaos that you're doing. Number one, we all already agree, right? We all already agree that he's expanding the definition of adultery from just being a physical act to lusting. We all already agree on that, all right? I already agree that just simply noticing somebody's beauty is not the same thing as lusting, because the word that was used in the Bible in both versions was lusting. We've always been saying lusting. We didn't say you have to keep your eyes on your feet the whole time, or that you can't objectively notice the fact that someone is attractive, right? So and Cameron now concedes to that. So now we're all on agreement that you can acknowledge or observe that someone is attractive, and that's different than lusting. Lusting is the word they used, right? Here's where you and I were fighting, that the word everyone includes single men. And it's so crazy because, one last thing, and then I promise you I'm done and we'll give it to you, right? It's so crazy because when we use the word men always apply the word all to it. And now when we have a situation that actually is about all men, I have a man in front of me fighting that everyone doesn't mean all men.
That is ironic.
Go ahead, Luke. You've got the floor uninterrupted. Don't interrupt him, Cameron. Go ahead, dear.
I'll concede single men is included too. So I should be gouging out my eyes. I'll concede.
Good.
But, however, we're not going to pretend.
Right? You're not going to.
Huh?
You're not going to.
Wait.
You're
Can I
not
finish?
going to. Okay, go ahead.
Can I? Yeah, it's before I lose my thought. Shit. But we're not going to sit up here and act like y'all didn't read that verse and hear lust and do exactly what Cameron did and start talking about, oh, but men do it anyway. If you just look at a woman, you lusting after her. Because that's pretty much what she was saying. That she just conceded.
My response to Cameron disproves your use of the word y'all. Cameron is my friend, and 95% of the time we're fighting exactly the same fight all the time. And I openly and publicly disagreed with her. My response to Cameron disproves your use of the word y'all.
After I convinced you.
You did not convince me. You need to believe
Yeah, I did, because at first she was on the same thing. You did not convince
me. You need to believe that you did. Because
you need to believe
that you taught somebody something. But you came into the space where you could not possibly teach anybody
because
anything.
y'all taught me something today.
Listen,
So,
I already did not see the word lust as the same thing as noticing someone's attractive. Lusting is when you start having these thoughts about sexual acts with them or degrading their humanity down to what you can do to them with your genitals. That is lusting, right? That's what lusting is. The word that was used was lusting. Jesus used the word lusting. You did not convince me of anything. And the thing, what I noticed is with men is that men can never just accept that they took an L. Someone needs to take an L with them. So you've already, after all of this, you're like, okay, fine, it includes single men. But I need you to concede on something. I'm going to create something that wasn't there, a conversation that never was had, so that I can believe that you, Yellow, conceded to something too. That's how y'all behave.
You so dramatic, ma'am. You've already conceded the one thing.
There was nothing. I did not concede to anything. Listen, Cameron conceded. No,
right, and y'all the double team.
We are not the same thing. We're not the same person.
You fucking wish.
Let's
wish, you fucking
listen.
asshole.
You conceded that everyone includes single people. Cameron
I
conceded
took
that
an L.
looking does
She
not.
didn't concede.
Yes, she did.
Yes, I did. She
She
convinced me.
conceded to
She's right.
you.
Okay, I'll
She
say
didn't
it. Yellow.
concede to
I
me.
officially.
Why do you
After
need?
you said something,
Wait! Everybody stop! Everybody stop! Why does she need to concede to anybody? She conceded to the point. She didn't
because when I
concede to me or you. She
no,
conceded
she
to the
conceded to
point.
you,
She
and I'm gonna tell
conceded
you
to the
why.
point via my argument. But the
She didn't
concession.
concede to the point.
Listen,
You're
she
not going to
did.
tell me why I did anything, Luke.
She conceded to the point due to my argument, right? So,
No, she
listen,
conceded to the point. She
I
conceded because y'all
know
friends.
why. No, she didn't concede because we're friends. Because if that's the case, I could have conceded to her because we were friends. She conceded to me because my argument was compelling. That's
Yeah, and
why.
how are you going to tell me, Luke? How are you going to look? How are you going to speak for me, Luke? It's weird when men
You've been
come
up
up
here
here and
speaking
say,
for me the whole
Cameron
time,
did.
ma'am.
Nobody spoke for you.
Luke, you got
Yes, you
stop. Just
did.
stop for a
You
minute. I
didn't hear
listened
her
to.
talk about how men
So you're
are.
going to talk about me, but not to me. Tell me how that makes sense, Luke. Let me tell you why I conceded. Because I was convinced by the argument that she made. And then I thought about the fact that I have a boyfriend who calls me beautiful. And sometimes I look like shit. And he still says I'm beautiful. So what I did is I listened to her argument. I thought about my
No
personal
personal
experience. Luke,
stories.
stop interrupting women. Here's your problem. And then I'm going to drop yellow. Your problem, Luke, is you have an ego the size of this goddamn country. And the problem, Luke, is that you can't concede to a woman. The problem is not the argument, the intellectual discourse that we're having. The problem is you don't trust or value a woman's opinion. A woman can come up here and tell you she's an expert. She's done this, that. She's studied. It doesn't matter, Luke, because you don't value women. Your ego is so huge. You're talking about me and her tag teaming you. You don't trust women. You don't value women. You don't think we're independent creatures who think for ourselves. I
And
think
you
for
think
myself.
all men are
Shut up,
evil.
Luke. I'm not done.
You think all men
I
are
think
evil.
she's fucking beautiful. I think she's hot. She's smart. She's beautiful. But I'm only going to agree with her if I think her ideas are sound and then they go with what I already think and believe. And she challenged me a little bit. That's what good people
She
do.
didn't
And that's
challenge you at
shut
all.
up,
She
Luke.
said it one
You don't
time
know
and
how
you
to learn.
conceded.
Anyway, Yellow, I think you're really beautiful. And I did concede to you because it's not a gang up against men, because your problem is you think you're always the victim of some manipulative woman. Some woman hurt you along the way, and now you blame
That's
all
you.
women,
You
Luke.
just did that to me.
Ugh. Anyway, thanks, Yellow. I'm going to go work on my dollhouse. Love you so much. And you're so beautiful. And, I'm not going to agree with you just because you are smart and beautiful. I'm going to agree with you because it fits with what I know to be true. So there you go, Luke. If I cleared it up for you, I hope I have.
And
Thank you.
And listen, I don't ever want you to agree with me simply because you agree with me.
Right.
If what I'm saying doesn't make sense, continue to challenge me, and we'll figure it out, or we'll agree to disagree, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
That's what
Because
she
it's quite
did, though.
possible.
Luke! God damn, can't you just stop interrupting? Here's how you can be an ally to women. I'm gonna give you one tip. The first thing you can do is stop interrupting women when they speak, especially if they're speaking to one another. It's rude, Luke. Anyway, thank you, Yellow.
I'm
I
not even talking
apologize.
to him.
I know.
Let me finish my thing, because what I'm not going to do is let Luke make it that I can't finish saying the nice thing that I wanted to say to you, right? I very much value your opinion, your intellect, your point of view, all of those things. So I never want you to agree with me on something that you are like, no, Yellow, there's a perspective that you're missing and what you're saying is incorrect. I want you to give me the perspective that I'm missing so that I can move over to the perspective that is correct, right? I want you to challenge me every single time. I respect you and I think that you're really intelligent. So that I'm happy with that.
Same. That's all I want to say. Same, and you're beautiful. I'm going to support you from down there.
And you're
go do some
gorgeous
stuff.
too.
You are so fucking pretty. You're pretty.
Yo, you're pretty.
No, you. Stop it. You hang up first.
All right.
You
hang up first. No,
Yellow.
no.
You
I
hang
love
up.
you more. No, I love you
I
more.
love you more. You hang up first. Love you.
All right. Welcome up, Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy. Are you okay?
Am I okay?
Mm-hmm. Because I know
that's
sometimes these interactions be having you in a space like, no more. You and Corey too. Corey be like, fuck it. Galaxy, get them the fuck out of here. Like, no more. No mas. Not one moment more. But yeah. Whew.
Okay.
The floor is yours, Jeremy.
Obviously, I'm just getting back, so I've missed a lot of what's going on. I'll just simply say this: decorum and emotional regulation, impulse control. These are things that these so-called logical men, because that's what we are, supposedly, allegedly. I just want us to be able to demonstrate that. That's it. I just want us to demonstrate that.
Well, good luck. Because the unmuters will never demonstrate decorum.
True.
Like, when you've gotten to a place on a panel, anybody's panel, where you have to be continuously muted for over talking, you have to sit with yourself and wonder, why am I experiencing this? Is it perhaps my own behavior? Right? It does not make any sense to ever. I have been in some crazy places, right? And I've never been anywhere where I had to be continuously muted. Right? And sometimes if I'm in certain spaces where I'm like, I know they're just not going to let me talk at all, I'm just not going to go. I'll make my little attempts at my turn. I'll stay on mute until it's my go. And then, if they're like, nope, we don't want to hear your opinion, I'll say, thank you for having me, and I'll go on about my way. But if the person is attempting to engage in conversation with me and we're going back and forth, I've never been muted and muted and muted. Like, I'm trying to finish my thought. Like, I've never experienced that because I have decorum and self-control. And Jeremy, I've seen you out in the streets too. I've never seen anybody do it to you either, where they're just like mute, 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 because you keep talking while somebody else is talking, or talking while the host is talking. Hey Two in the comments says, is your prompt saying you don't think they should be over the counter or exist at all? I don't think they should exist at all. I think if you've gotten to the point that your dick doesn't work, then nature or God or whoever you believe in is saying you don't need to fuck anymore. You need to stop. And I don't understand why. I think if we are using the law to control women's bodies and not give women the option to do what they need to do with their bodies, then men also should not. I think that it's unnatural. I think it's unnatural, and it's against, like, what do you call it? Darwin. It's like anti-Darwinish, right? So nature has decided you should not have any more children. And you're over there taking pills to give yourself the dick that nature took already. So that's my explanation of erectile dysfunction medication should be illegal. Now, Luke, the floor is yours. I will mute myself.
I will apologize for the over talking and the unmuting and just being downright unruly. However, if from this point on, if you would allow me to get my full thought out, so I won't forget what I was trying to say and, interrupt my flow, I will go on mute. I will try to, even though you'll say like 3 and 4 points, and I just want to argue the 1 point. I will readjust my debating style to fit your platform.
Okay, do you have a point that you'd like to make at this point?
Yes. The ED medication should be illegal. I also disagree with that.
Go ahead and tell us why.
I think that everybody should have autonomy over their bodies. So I don't think that striking it down for one means we need to strike it down for the other. I think we should just fight for the right for the other to have that bodily autonomy. Striking it down for both is a slippery slide, and it's even And basically what it does is just take even more rights away from people in general, and it will start to erode away people's personal rights.
Is that the completion of your argument?
Yes, I have landed.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do the I've landed thing, right? I think that that's helpful, especially when there's confusion about when people can start and when people can end, right? So, number one, overwhelmingly, men did not give a fuck about women losing their right to abortion, even though most abortions are paid for by men, right? Most of the time, some woman has said, and it's not all the time, it's just a most of the time, right? It's like I have this argument with black men all the time when they tell me that black women have the most abortions, and I say black men have paid for the most abortions, right? Because what happens, we've got an unwanted pregnancy. Often the woman will go to the guy and say, hey, I'm pregnant. And some kind of conversation will happen about keeping it or not keeping it. He'll say, what do you want to do? And she'll be like, I don't think that it's a good idea right now. And he'll be like, okay, I also agree that's not a good idea right now. And she'll say, well, the abortion costs $500 or $600, whatever it is now. I have no idea. And he will say, okay, I will do what I need to do to come up with the money, or I'll meet you halfway, or whatever it is that happens there, right? And men benefited from not having children they didn't want to have. Men benefited from it, right? There's actually plenty of cases where the woman wanted to have, the woman is pregnant and the man says, you should get rid of it. And that's literally the language that they use, get rid of it, right? And in some of those cases, the woman does. In some of those cases, the woman doesn't. But in all the cases where the woman did, that man benefited. He didn't want to pay child support. He didn't want to be linked to that woman for whatever reason. He didn't want to have a child with her, or it was a bad timing for him, right? I think you should get rid of it. This definitely happens, since we'll link it back to adultery. A lot of times these married men are having sex with women on the side, and that woman becomes pregnant and he tells her to get rid of it, and she does, right? So this whole thing, so y'all don't care about a woman's autonomy on her body. As a matter of fact, many men fought for women to not. So what is the issue with me fighting for men to not have their autonomy? I think that once nature or God or whoever you believe in says you don't need a working dick anymore, who are we to intervene? Leave it alone. Get down. Sorry, I'm talking to the doggy.
Yes, hey, I'm 18.
Okay, Tristan, how old are you?
18.
You're 18 on the dot.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I just want to start off with a question. What makes you say Christian men are grifters? You're pretty much saying they're con artists, so why?
Yeah, because I think convincing somebody through use of religion that they should submit to another person is a grift.
Okay, I can agree with that, but the thing is, the way you're saying it is you're pretty much basically saying all Christian men are that way, and I don't believe that. That's only some people
Is
are.
a foundation,
you're saying it in a general.
Is women submitting one of the foundations of Christian relationships?
Also, because for one, I'm
Yes or
not
no?
even Christian at all. Say that again.
Is women submitting one of the foundations of Christian relationships?
Is women submitting the foundation of
One
Christian
of the
relationships?
foundations of Christian relationships. Yeah.
For some, yes.
If it's a foundation, then there it is.
I mean, it's a foundation for a relationship, yes.
So it's a foundation for the relationships. This is grifting. So
Okay,
either
but you're
you're
saying all men
participating in it yourself or you're promoting it for others. This is grifting, right? You're grifting her out of her autonomous thought. You're grifting her out of labor for the most part, right? You're putting her in a position where she's going to have to spend the rest of her life never being able to be the final say in any decisions on her own. Because anything that man says is actually the final decision. You've grifted her out of autonomy.
I agree. That's if a man is a grifter. My point is saying that not all men are grifters. Mine is entirely different.
It doesn't
Yes,
say
I
all
agree
men
with
are
you. If a
grifters.
man is a grifter and you're in a relationship with another woman, yes, that's wrong. They're not giving the woman any choice there. But what I'm simply saying is not all men are just grifters or Christian men.
Okay. So you don't think that Christianity promotes imbalance of power inside of relationships?
In ways, I can agree. In ways, it does, but not in entire ways. Because you got to think Christianity is wide. Not everybody chooses to listen to every single bit of it. You know, everybody sins. I don't believe in Christianity myself, but someone
So
that does,
why are
that
you
still
fighting for
doesn't
the
show that
Christians
everyone's a
then?
grifter.
Why are you
Say
fighting
what?
why are you fighting for the Christians if you're not?
I'm not
Christian?
fighting for Christians. I'm fighting for you basically saying Christian men are grifters.
Okay.
I'm not Christian myself, but I'm still
Why not?
willing to protect Christian men that you're saying are all grifters.
Protect them from what?
Do what?
Protect them from what?
I'm so sorry. I might have used a bad word. Protecting. I'm not saying protecting. I'm debating. It's a debate. I'm debating. I'm just here to debate pretty much, basically. Like, why do you think all Christian men are grifters? Because they're not all.
You're here to be contrarian on behalf of people who you don't even associate with.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that? Everybody has free will. You're allowed to debate on anything you want to.
So if you had a daughter, you'd want her to be with a Christian man, knowing what Christianity
No, I
promotes?
never said that.
I'm asking.
No.
Why not?
Because I don't believe in Christianity.
But
I don't
not
believe
all
in
Christian.
religion.
But not all Christian men are bad.
True. So not all Christian men are grifters.
So
'cause a
why
grifter
wouldn't
is
you
bad,
want your
right?
daughter to be with one?
I mean, I don't really care to basically is what I'm telling you. I mean, if someone else is Christian and they choose to have that religion, I don't care. I'm saying personally, I don't believe in it.
Let's
I'm talking about
stay in the
grifters.
stream of questioning, right?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You know what the basis of Christianity says regarding women inside of relationships.
Okay.
Would you want your daughter to be with a Christian man?
If he's a good Christian man, there's a difference. There's
That's
bad
not
and
what
good.
you said before. You said no before,
And then I fixed myself before also.
right? Because you know that that's not what you wanted, right? Because you know that
Not necessarily. I
not
just said
only
something.
he can present himself as a good man at the beginning, and any point in time he can subjugate your daughter and use the Bible as the reason. He holds that card for as long as he remains Christian.
Okay, true if he's a Christian man that is a grifter, but not all Christian men are
No,
grifters.
all Christian men hold that card, whether they use it or they
If
don't
they
use
all,
it. Listen to
if
me.
they all, okay,
they
yes,
can
ma'am, I'm
use
sorry.
it or not use it, but all Christian men hold the submission card.
But you're still kind of just dodging what I'm saying. I know what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say because in the Bible, basically what it says, it turns a man into a grifter. But what I've been telling you is that not all people just listen to that. You can be Christian. You don't got to listen to everything by the book. That's kind of impossible. I
So
mean,
what's the
just like
point?
you don't want to be a grifter. If you don't, just don't be a con artist. It ain't really that hard. You can be a Christian and not be a con artist.
So what I want you to understand is that they don't believe they're grifting.
Well, because they're
They
not. So I
believe-
believe you're doing something if you're not doing it, unless they actually are a grifter.
Listen, they don't believe that they're grifting women. They believe that women are standing in their natural biblical role.
The ones that choose to be grifters, that choose to
They
listen
don't
to that
believe
side
that
of
they're
it.
grifters.
You got to understand, you're still so you still think that all Christian men are grifters.
Yeah,
Every single one of them in the
All of
entire
them.
earth.
all of them.
I get that, but like, how can you just say that? You have no proof of that. You can't say all Christian men are grifters. Have you met every man in the earth? I mean, I'd say
Nope.
not. So
Nope.
you can't really be the judge of that, can you?
Nope. I've not met all of them.
Exactly. All you're going by is what the book says, but not everybody chooses to listen to the book in that sort of way, is what I'm trying to say.
Do you
Unless
think-
you've met every man in the world, you have no proof of that.
Let me ask you a question. And this is not to start a race debate, okay? So let's just sit in the facts without being racially charged inside of the conversation I'm about to open, right? Because I realize
ma'am.
there's an imbalance off the fact that I'm black and you're white and I'm introducing a particular topic. It's not about your whiteness and it's not about my blackness.
Yes,
okay?
I will tell you. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not racist in any shape or
No,
form.
no. I'm not asking you that. I'm
no,
not
no,
asking you
no.
that. I'm not asking
I
you
know
that.
you didn't. I
Yeah,
know
no,
you
no.
didn't. I'm just
I don't-
stating that.
yeah,
I'm
okay.
stating that just
So-
to let you know.
Well, I'll
Let's not
tell
do
you,
that.
so far in the conversation, you've not said anything to indicate I should be concerned about racist slurs, etc., coming from you. So far, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that slavery is wrong?
Yes.
Do you believe that inherently slavery means that somebody is getting grifted out of labor?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to meet all of the slave owners in order to determine that all the slave owners are grifters?
No.
Same with the Christian men for me.
Okay, I can see what you're saying, but that's still vastly different. You're talking about slavery compared to a Bible. Slavery, now I will say something with you. Slavery was actually very influenced in the Bible, right? Which in a way can also
Not
influence your
very. I
grifting
think
and
there's
getting
one or
enslaved.
two mentions of it in a 900-page book.
Maybe not very, but it still is. So either way, it's on there. So yes, I see what you're trying to state there, but once again, even if that induces the thought of being a grifter, it doesn't necessarily mean everybody listens to that part. Exactly like you said, it says it twice in there.
In like 900
Most
pages.
people don't agree with slavery. They read it in the Bible, they see that, and they're like, no, I don't like slavery. You cannot like things about a religion and still be religious. Do you get what I'm saying? You cannot agree with some things and agree with the others. And that's what a lot of men and women do. And basically, if you're saying Christian men are grifters, in a sense, it's like you're generally saying they all are. Like, I just think that's like, you can't really do
Get
that.
down.
She can and she did. This is what you're not grasping.
Well, she can. She has the free will to do that. I've grasped that a long time ago. But I'm just saying that doesn't make sense to me in a logical sense. That's
All
what I
right, let me
stated.
make my break real quick. Thank you. Got 74 people in the room. We're at 58,000 likes. Let's get us up to 75,000 likes in the next 15 minutes to 20 minutes. House rules over here. The drop is the price of the drop did go up. It is now the Thunder Hammer. If we have multiple guests up here and you want to mute somebody, it's the Raccoon. If you want to come up for a one-on-one with one of the guests or with me for 5 minutes, it is the gloves, and then put yourself in the queue. Right. So again, if you want a one-on-one with somebody that's on the panel, it's the gloves, and then put yourself in the queue and I'll bring you up. General rules: no over talking, no asking personal questions, no personal stories, and each go is 2 minutes or less. Please do not come up here and talk on and ramble and ramble and ramble. If you've not sent your daily heart me, please go ahead and do that. And the other way in which you can drop somebody is by using the gift goal. When that gift goal is met, we would drop the person that is on panel. So those are your drop options. You guys are in control of that for the most part, unless the person is absolutely egregious. I typically don't drop anybody. And that's it. All right, Jeremy, you got anything you want to add?
Well, I'm really trying to just understand what this push is, because if I was to, afford you the whole, it's not all of them. Okay, now what? Where do we go from there? Because it seems that seems to be the only point that you want to circle back to through this whole discussion.
You're correct. That's all I'm circling, and that's all I'm stating. And simply just saying they're not generally all grifters, then yeah, that's a big thing. Saying something in general and then just saying some of them are, that's a big difference.
Okay, so again, where do we go from here is what I'm trying to understand.
Christianity
You just tell me.
itself,
You don't gotta believe my belief. It's just simple debate, because why not? I mean, that's kind of what this post is for. You sent it here to debate.
So let
and
me
I'm
ask you
simply
this.
debating about it.
In order to be considered a Christian, do you need to believe in Christian beliefs?
I mean, yes, in a sense, but not entirely all of them. No Christian does. And I know
they
that.
believe. They just be fucking up. Right?
No, that's what I mean. That they believe,
so
but
that's
they're
not what
never perfect.
I'm not saying that you can't fuck up, right? Because Christianity makes space for you to fuck up as much as you want to, and all you got to do is say, I'm sorry. All you got to do is get on your knees and tell God you're sorry and ask for forgiveness, and you could do it again in 2 days. Right? That's the way that Christianity works. This is why I don't fuck with those people. right?
Exactly. I mean, I
Because
don't believe in it
the
either.
idea that you can do whatever kind of fuck up you want and all you have to do is ask for forgiveness from God and you're forgiven and that's it, that doesn't sit well with me. It leaves
I can
shit
agree
too
with
wide
that.
open. Yeah.
Also, Christianity is a contradiction in many different ways.
Many ways. Many ways they contradict itself, right?
Hmm.
But
May I
you
ask what your like beliefs are? Are you atheist,
I'm
agnostic? Like
agnostic.
me too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
agnostic. I still struggle completely voiding the idea that there's any spiritual connection in the world whatsoever. I struggle with that, right? I'll walk right on up to atheism, like touch it with my toes and then back up. Like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
know that I want to say that there's absolutely nothing. However, when we talk about God's interactions with human beings, it's okay. So I'm going to get a little bit wordy, but I'm going to tell you how I feel, right?
Okay.
So I've had pets, okay? I have 2 dogs right now, and I used to have fish. Like, I was, like, really psycho into the fish tanks for a while. I had, like, 7 in the house. It was nuts. But anywho, I don't have any fish tanks now. I've made my way all the way down to 0 because I clearly realized, like, this becomes, like, once I start with one tank, it just turns into a whole nother monster. And I was like, I'm going to let it go altogether, regardless. So people tend to think, Christianity thinks that their relationship with God is like my relationship with the dogs, right? Them being the dog, God being me, right? That you can just bark and ask and bark and ask and bark and ask to go outside, bark and ask for this, bark and ask for that. You know, like if the dog does something bad, you know, like all it does is like, make the cute face. And I'm like, all right, whatever, you're forgiven. You know what I'm saying? You can go into the kitchen, tear the garbage can all apart, drag it from one end to the other, and then piss on it. I'm going to be the one to fucking clean it up. And then when you look sad, I'll forgive you. Right? So that's the way that they think that their God human relationship works, right? And it also works in that you're praying to the God and sometimes he listens and sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes the dog wants a treat right now and I give it to him and sometimes I fucking don't, right? And they're like, oh, in the infinite wisdom of my owner, maybe I shouldn't have a treat right now. And that excuses the fact that I was begging for a treat and she didn't give me one, right?
Yes.
They think that that's their relationship. I think that the God relationship looks a lot more like the one that I have with the fish tank. Okay? Where the fish can't ask me for shit. If they are asking, I have no idea. Right? What I'm doing is turning the really cool LED lights. I had like really cool blue LED lights at the bottom of the fish tank. Like it's nighttime. I got my blue LED lights on. I got my cigar in my hand and I'm watching the fish move around. Right? And sometimes the fish have babies and sometimes they don't. And I'm just watching. You know what I'm saying? And all I got to do is kind of like deal with the environment a little bit. Like, let me check the pH because I don't want all the fishies to die. But every once in a while there's an algae bloom and half the fucking population goes out. Like that really sucks. Might need to buy some more, right? That to me is a lot closer to what the relationship with the God actually looks like. Like he's probably just he or she, it, them, they, whatever, is probably just watching us for entertainment and maybe maybe managing the environment a little.
Yeah, and in a sense, that makes the omnipresent, like all-knowing God, and not all-knowing God and all-powerful. That means he's not all-powerful if he is real. Also,
Well, I mean, I'm all
believe
powerful, but I'm disengaged, right? Like I'm not all knowing because I have no idea what the fuck the fish are thinking, right? I'm not all
exactly,
knowing,
but you still have a
but
sort of
I
control
could
over
throw
them.
some bleach in the tank and kill them all if I wanted to. I could go to the store and buy some more if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But if there's a fishy in there that wants to get pregnant, then they're fishy fucking and it's not happening. I'm not really getting involved.
Yeah, this is something I've always thought. There's many contradictions, but one. So Adam and Eve ate the apple, right? He gave them the choice for free will or not. That's what they say in the Bible, right? Right. Eve chose to eat it. So everyone has free will. And that's what Christians will always say. We say, well, why does God allow all the suffering in the world? And they say it's because he gave you free will. Well, think about this. God allowed one singular human to choose the free will for billions of others that didn't get their choice. And also, they say you get this free will in the world, and then they say in heaven. Think about in heaven. You ask, well, in heaven, is there any suffering? No, that means there's no free will. So you're pretty much basically telling me heaven's hell and earth is heaven. And that's just like, what?
So interestingly enough, have you ever read the story of Adam and Eve? Like actually opened the Bible and read it?
No, ma'am, I haven't actually done that, but I've done a lot of research on it.
Well, why do all the research and not go to the source, sir?
You're true, but you see how I look at it since I'm not a Christian, I just simply don't choose to put that much effort into it.
So the story of Adam and Eve is a very interesting story, and I've read it many times. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Story of Adam and Eve is a very interesting story. So God creates the heavens and the earth, all of the things. 7 days He's populated the planet with everything except for people. 6 days He makes the humans, right? But He doesn't make both the humans. He only makes Adam, right? Adam is then lonely, right? And needs a partner, somebody to hang out with, needs a friend, and apparently the dogs and the sheep and the animals was not enough. So God says, all right, I'm gonna make a person for you. He puts Adam into a deep sleep, takes his rib out, and makes Eve, right?
Yeah.
Prior to that, God told Adam, you can have anything in the garden except for the fruit from that tree right there, the tree of knowledge, something in knowledge, whatever, right? So I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to tell me what it is, blah, 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 and knowledge. Anyway, so Eve was not even present. Eve was not even present when God made the directive not to eat from that tree. She didn't even exist yet. Okay? So he puts Adam to sleep, takes out the rib, creates Eve. Eve now exists. Eve then goes to the tree. She and Adam, and Adam were hanging out by the tree. And the serpent comes, and the serpent's not talking to Adam. The serpent is only talking to Eve. And the serpent says to her, you should go ahead and eat it because it's going to make you smart. You're going to know all the things that God knows. And she's like, but we're not supposed to eat it. I don't know. Adam is standing here at the same time, says jack's shit, doesn't say a word, right? So your wife, I see you got a girlfriend in your picture. Some other dude is talking to your girlfriend right there. Y'all are together, right? And he's telling her to do some fuck shit that both of you already know is wrong, right? And she's sitting there by herself going, but they told us not to do it. And he's still pushing. Do you think that you would intervene?
I would, yes.
Okay, Adam does not, right?
Yes,
Adam
I
doesn't
find that
say
wrong.
jack shit, right?
You don't.
So anyway, the serpent convinces Eve. Eve grabs the apple, realizes that the apple looks good, smells good, and probably would taste good, and goes ahead and bites it. Okay? And then she passes the apple over to Adam, who then also fucking bites it.
Okay, yeah, I heard about that too. I heard about how they kind of both ate it, but I just know Eve ate it first.
Eve did eat it first, right? But here's the thing. Adam was a bitch-ass motherfucker, all right? He was a bitch-ass motherfucker. Because how are you standing right there and having some other being convincing your girl to do some fuck shit while you stand right there? You don't intervene, you don't say shit. And I'm not saying you need to be the keeper of your woman, because I wouldn't let that happen with a friend. I wouldn't let that. If me, Cameron was up here before, Jeremy's here right now. Like if me and Jeremy were out and somebody's trying to convince Jeremy to do some fuck shit and I'm standing right there, I'm be like, Jeremy, what are you doing? No, absolutely not. No, come on, let's get out of here. Like, no, don't talk to this dude. Right? Like, so it's not even about the male female thing. It's not even about like who's the man or whatever. I'm just saying, like, what kind of friend are you that you'd stand right there and watch somebody like convince your friend to do some fuck shit that you both know are wrong? So he's a bitch ass motherfucker. Then when it all comes down, remember the directive from God came to Adam, never to Eve. So God told Adam and Adam told Eve not to eat that thing, right? So God comes back and he goes straight to Adam, not to Eve, and says, what the fuck? What is going on? Why are you hiding from me? Because they remember, they realized that they were naked. They start hiding in the trees, whatever, hiding in the bushes. He comes out, Adam, Eve, where are you guys? Whatever, Adam, where are you? Adam comes out and he's like, why were you hiding? He said, I'm naked. He's like, did you eat from the tree? And he said, That woman that woman you put here with me made me do it. You're a bitch. Because if you had any self-esteem, if you had any courage, if you had any respectability, your response would have been, I did eat it. I did. I ate it. I ate it and it was good.
You wouldn't just straight blame it straight on the woman.
You wouldn't go straight blame it on the woman. Because you could have prevented her from eating it. You could have decided not to eat it your damn self. And when you're addressed, the only thing you have to say is the woman that you sent here with me made me do it.
Yeah, that's just a bunch of bullshit. But that's why I just believe it's because that never happened. And that's why it's dumb. But I just think it just never really even happened.
Yeah, it's interesting how they use that story to vilify women, because they're like, well, Eve is the one that ate the apple first, and nah. I'm like, who cares? Who cares? So we're all living in original sin because Eve ate the apple first. Are we not in original sin because Adam ate it as well? Because maybe if Eve ate it first, but Adam didn't eat it at all, maybe the whole story looks different.
Yeah, plus if you think about it, also this states like if God's all knowing, he would have already known Eve and Adam was gonna eat the apple already.
Facts.
So why even give them the choice if he's already all knowing? That already states straight from the start he's not all knowing.
Yeah. All right, so listen, I have enjoyed our conversation, but I'm gonna swap you out.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you for coming by.
Alrighty, thank you. I'll see you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. At this point, I'm going to open it up to everybody, not just let the men talk for a little bit, and then I'm going to head on out. So if there's anybody, women or otherwise, that want to come up and talk on either of the topics, it's open for you to do so. Otherwise, I'm going to head out if nobody wants to come up right now. But I'm getting kind of tired. So I'll give y'all guys a minute to jump in queue or not jump in queue. All right. Okay. I do not see anybody jumped into the queue. I'm going to head on out, and I will see you guys possibly tomorrow. I'm out of work for a couple days, so you guys will see me a bit more often. So I'll see y'all.